Shalom, good people. This is Veronica. We are at the Negev desert, and from here, the Negev desert camel ride, we are heading to another part of the Negev desert, Beersheva, the hometown of the patriarchs of faith, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, where Abraham lived, the place where Isaac was born.
Alright, so we have around 50 minutes travel going to Tel Beersheba. Have you been there in Tel Beersheba, mga kapatid?
No.
So that is the home of the patriarchs, as I said. Abraham lived in Beersheba, and Isaac was born in Beersheba. And a lot of amazing stories that happened in the Old Testament, especially during the time of Abraham, happened here in Beersheba. And also the well of Abraham was preserved there in Beersheba. Okay, so we have to get ready on this amazing archaeological biblical site.
Beersheva is the 8th most popular metropolitan city in Israel. It is also the region's biggest city and the gateway to the Negev area. An interesting fact to note is Beersheva in the Bible was known as Tel Beersheba. On our way, we are going to read some Bible verses. Beersheba is mentioned so many times in the Bible, and most especially it's mentioned in the book of Genesis with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and King Abimelech, the king of Gerar. Reading Genesis chapter 20. Now Abraham moved from there. From where? From Hebron into the region of the Negev and lived near between Kadesh and Shur. For a while he stayed in Gerar. And there Abraham said of his wife Sarah, "She is my sister." Then Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent for Sarah and took her. Do you know this verse is repeated by Isaac in the book of Genesis chapter 26? Let's check where also Isaac lied that his wife Rebecca was his sister. That is Genesis chapter 26 verse 6. So Isaac stayed in Gerar. When the men of that place asked him about his wife, he said, "She is my sister," because he was afraid to say, "She is my wife." He thought, "The men of this place might kill me on account of Rebecca, because she's beautiful." So Abimelech was the king of Gerar, the king of the Philistines, in that place that was called Gerar. The Negev. Genesis chapter 13, 1-3 from verse 1. So Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and in silver and gold. From the Negev, he went from place to place until he came to Bethel, to the place between Bethel and Ai, where his tent had been earlier, and where he had first built an altar. There Abraham called on the name of the Lord. So this is Negev, and Abraham used to move from place to place in the Negev with Lot until he became so wealthy that they had to separate. Genesis chapter 12. Abraham. Let's read from verse 8. From there, from where? From Moreh at Shechem. From there, he went on toward the hills east of Bethel and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. There he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. Then Abraham set out from Bethel now and continued towards the Negev. Entering Tel Beersheba. Genesis chapter 21 verse 14. So Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water, and putting it on her shoulder, putting on whose shoulder? Whose shoulder? Hagar. He gave it and the boy to Hagar and sent her away. Then she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And they departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. This is the wilderness of Beersheba.
When we say Tel, it's a compounded mound of soil. So bit patong-patong sila, kaya ngayon ay tumaas yung area.
Welcome to the hometown of Abraham. Tel Beersheba.
Okay, ready na ba kayo? Yan, let's...
The entrance time during summertime is from 8 o'clock to 5, winter 8 to 4 o'clock. Yes, a Hebrew you write from right to left. We are visiting the Old Testament. Tel Beersheba. In Hebrew, you don't say Beer Sheba, you say Beersheva. Entrance fee.
Abraham's altar at Beersheba, a replica of the altar. Genesis chapter 21, verse 33. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the eternal God.
And Abraham built an altar unto the Lord. Genesis chapter
Then
26.
he went up from there to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, I am God. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants from my servant Abraham's sake. So he built an altar there and called on and pitched his tent there, and their Isaac's servants dug well.
Wow.
Okay.
Walking through the Bible live together.
Wadi Beersheba. Para maintindihan
I think it's too hot. I should use my camera instead of my phone.
So first significance ng Beersheba is the birth of Isaac. Could you remember si Sarah, yung asawa ni Abraham, may edad na siya, matanda na siya. So sa kanyang katandaan ay wala pa rin silang anak, pero ang Diyos, God made a promise that Abraham will become a father of many nations. And also God said that the son of the covenant will come from Sarai. So, one time nung sabihin ng Diyos yung bagay niyan kay Abraham, and Sarai heard that the angel of God told Abraham that she will conceive on the next year. So, Sarai laughed. You know why? Because she's already 89 years old. So, could you imagine? And at the age of 90, Sarai gave birth to Isaac. So kaya may chance pa kayo, ladies, you still if you're still planning to have a child, you still have a chance, okay? Okay, when you go back in the Philippines, you can have a chance. Alright. So doon natin. Okay, Genesis chapter 21. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken, for Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age. So how old Abraham when Sarai got pregnant? Abraham is around 99 years old. So, gaganon-ganon na siguro si Abraham. Si Sarah, buntis gano'n na mga kapatid. I don't know, okay? I don't know. But that's the age, mga kapatid. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God commanded him. So always remember, mga kapatid, so the son of the covenant is Isaac, and is the father of Jacob. And later on, Jacob's name was changed into Israel. That's why this nation is called Israel instead of Jacob. And also, we can see the significance of circumcision. And what is circumcision? Pagtutuli, mga kapatid, sa Tagalog. This is the sign of God's sacred covenant with Abraham, because God made an everlasting covenant with Abraham in Elon Moreh, in Nablus or Shechem, that this land will become the inheritance of Abraham and his children. That. And later on, let's find out why this place is called Beersheba. So, Genesis chapter 21 verse 22, the Bible says, "And it came to pass at that time that Abimelech and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, spake unto Abraham, saying, God is with thee in all that thou doest. Now therefore swear unto me here by God that thou wilt not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's son, but according to the kindness that I have done unto thee, that thou shalt do unto me, and to the land wherein thou hast sojourned." Now what is this? Why Abimelech is making a request, a covenant with Abraham? Because when Abraham came to this land, they made a disguise. So Abraham said to Sarai, because Sarai is so beautiful, even in old age, okay, Abraham instructed Sarai to tell that they are brother and sister. So totoo naman, half sister, half brother. So pero ano nangyari, mga kapatid, when Abraham took Sarai to become his wife, so God shut the womb of all the women in the territory or kingdom of Abimelech. And later on, Abimelech find out the reason that Abraham is a man of God, and he confronted Abraham, and the rest is history. That's why Abimelech said, I show kindness to you, so show kindness in return to me and to my children. And he said, don't make false, sabi niya rito, maging honest ka sa usapan na ito. So 24, and Abraham said, I will swear, I promise. And Abraham reproved Abimelech because of a well of water which Abimelech's servant had violently taken away. Now in this area, Abraham dig wells. And later on, there was a conflict between the servants of Abraham and Abimelech, and the servants of Abimelech covered the wells of Abraham. And some of the wells, they wanted to take it. Okay, so that's the story. And then what happened? And Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them unto Abimelech, and both of them made a covenant. And Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves. And Abraham said unto Abraham, and Abimelech said unto Abraham, what mean the 7 ewe lambs which thou hast set by themselves? And he said, for the 7 ewe lambs shalt thou take of my hand, that they may be a witness unto me that I have digged this well. So, si Abraham, nagbigay siya kay Abimelech ng 7 tupa. At yung 7 tupang ito ay isang katibayan, it is a proof, mga kapatid, na yung well na hinukay ni Abraham ay well niya talaga. And where's that well? Pag-akyat natin dyan, makita ninyo, you will see the well of Abraham. So could you imagine, more than 3,000 years ago, that well was digged by Abraham. And what a privilege to be here in Beersheba, and you will see the very well that was dug by Abraham himself. And then, and they made a covenant, wherefore
he called the place Beersheba, because these were both of them. Thus they had made a covenant at Beersheba. Then Abimelech rose up and pickled the chief captain of his host, and returned into the land of the Philistines. And Abram planted a grove in Beersheba, and called there on the name of the Lord, the everlasting. And Abram sojourned in the Philistines' land many days. Now, to summarize, mga kapatid, okay? Because of the 7 lambs and also the 7 wells that was dug by Abraham here in this place, it is called Beersheba. So Beersheba is a 2 Hebrew word, beer. It's not the beer na iniinom ng Pilipino. Okay? Okay? So beer means well, and Sheba means 7. So in other words, Beersheba means the land of the 7 wells. Now let me give you a very interesting lesson about wells. A well is considered as a symbol of wealth. Take note. Well is considered as a symbol of wealth. Why? Because out of the well that comes the water, you can supply the water needed by your animals. So imagine yung camel, gallons of water ang kinakailangan ng camel natin. So if you have 100, 1,000 camels, so that means you need more than 1 well. That's why Abraham dig 7 wells to supply all the livestock that he have. And besides, what happened to Abraham and Lot? Their servants may have a conflict, because the land of Canaan was not able to contain the riches of these 2 people. And besides, the Bible says, and Abraham was very rich in silver, in gold, and in cattle, and everything mattered. So sobrang yaman talaga. Kaya hindi po pwedeng isang well lang. Dapat maraming well. So if you increase your livestock, that means you need to dig more wells. If you dig more wells, that means you are ready to grow more livestock. So what's the logic there, mga kapatid? If 1 well is already a symbol of wealth, that means to say 7 wells, you are not just wealthy, you are super wealthy. You are not just rich, you are billionaire, mga kapatid. Okay. Now, this day, that is not literally applicable. Pastor, meron akong 7 poso, kaya sobrang yaman ko. How much is that? Only 25,000, 35,000. So what is the metaphorical message, mga kapatid? Today, you must have not only 1 source of income. Meaning, you must have a multiple sources of income today. So kaya I challenge you, I encourage you, don't just depend only on your employment as caregiver. Learn to manage your salary and learn to grow it, invest it to other means of earning more money. Because if you're going to have many sources of income, one day you will become like Abraham, very rich. You will become very rich, mga kapatid. And always remember this: rich people are people who are not employed, people who are in business, people who are entrepreneur, mga kapatid. Because in employment, you can already measure the value of your earnings 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. So if I were you, engage in more sources of income, especially in business. Okay ba sa inyo?
Yes, sir.
So, and later on, Abraham died and he was buried in Machpelah. But all in all, Abraham was considered as the father of faith. Why? Because from here, he traveled 3 days going to Jerusalem. And he offered Isaac there in Jerusalem, in Mount Moriah. Nakita niyo yung golden dome doon? Yes. So that's the place where Abraham sacrificed Isaac, but God prevented him to offer Isaac. And from there, God already found out that Abraham truly obeyed God. That Abraham truly believed in God, mga kapatid. And he believed that God is able to raise Isaac from the dead. So, what's the challenge for us? Let us become like Abraham. Be a man of faith. Whatever God is saying to you, whatever God is commanding to you, make sure to obey it precisely when you believe in Jesus Christ, mga kapatid. So, never ever refuse to believe in Jesus Christ. Be saved. Alright? So yan na. Ready na kayo for another hiking?
Yes.
O yan na. Let's go, mga kapatid.
Yes.
Tapusin na natin ito.
Heading to the
Okay.
well of Abraham.
First of all, let's go to the well. The well na hinukay ni Abraham, and also kung saan naganap yung covenant niya with Abimelech. That's why it is known as the land of the seven wells.
We are in the middle of the desert, the Negev desert. But you can see there is some agriculture taking place in the middle of the desert.
Was Jacob in Beersheba. Genesis chapter 46. So Israel, or Jacob, set out with all that was his, and when he reached Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. And God spoke to Israel, or Jacob, in a vision at night and said, Jacob, Jacob, here I am. I am God, the God of your father. He said, do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there. I'll go down to Egypt with you, and I'll surely bring you back again. And Joseph's old heart will close your eyes. Genesis chapter 21, verse 25. Abraham's well. Abraham complains to Abimelech. Then Abraham complained to Abimelech about a well of water that Abimelech's servants had seized. But Abimelech said, I don't know who has done this. You did not tell me, and I heard about it only today. So Abraham brought sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech. And the two men made a treaty. Abraham set apart 7 lambs from the flock, and Abimelech asked Abraham, what is the meaning of these 7 lambs you have set apart by themselves? He replied, accept these 7 lambs from my heart as a witness that I dug this well. So that place was called Beersheba, because the 2 men saw an oath there. After the treaty had been made at Beersheba, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his forces, returned to the land of the Philistines. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Beersheba, and there he called on the name of the Lord, the eternal God. And Abraham stayed in the land of the Philistines for a long time. Abraham's well. The well is about 3,000 years old. And I think it's the same well that the servants of Isaac found water.
Genesis chapter 26, verse 26 to 28. We're going to enter the home of the patriarch Abraham.
We are going to read Genesis chapter 26. Isaac and Abimelech, the king of the Philistines. Verse 1. Genesis chapter 26, verse 1. Now, there was a famine in the land, besides the previous famine in Abraham's time, and Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. The Lord appeared to Isaac and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land where I tell you to live. Stay in this land for a while, and I'll be with you, and I'll bless you. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham." Rest, we are going to read from let's jump to verse 12. Isaac planted crops in that land, and the same year leaped 100-fold, because the Lord blessed him. The man became rich, and his wealth continued to grow until he became very wealthy. He had so many flocks and herds and servants that the Philistines envied him. So all the wells that his father's servant had dug in the time of his father's Abraham, the Philistines stopped up, filling them with earth. Then Abimelech said to Isaac, "Move away from us. You have become too powerful for us." So Isaac moved away from there and encamped in the valley of Gerar, where he settled. Isaac reopened the wells that had been dug in the time of his father Abraham, which the Philistines had stopped up after Abraham died, and he gave them the same names his father had given them. Isaac's servant dug in the valley and discovered a well of fresh water there. But the hunters of Gerar quarreled with those of Isaac and said, "The water is ours." So he named the well Isaac, because they disputed with him. Then they dug another well, but they quarreled over that one also. So he named it Sitna. He moved on from there and dug another well, and no one quarreled over it. He named it Rehoboth, saying, "Now the Lord has given us room, and we will flourish in the land." And the city of Rehoboth, it exists until today. We need to visit the city of Rehoboth. From there, he went up to Beersheba. So Isaac is now in Beersheba. Verse 23, Genesis chapter 26, verse 23. From there, from where? From Rehoboth. From Rehoboth, he went up to Beersheba. That night, the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless you and will increase the number of your descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham." Isaac built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord. There he pitched his tent, and there his servants dug a well. Meanwhile, Abimelech had come to him from Gerar with Ahuzzath, his personal advisor, and Phicol, the commander of his forces. Isaac asked them, "Why have you come to me, since you were hostile to me and sent me away?" They answered, "We saw clearly that the Lord was with you, so we said, there ought to be a sworn agreement between us and you. Let us make a treaty with you, that you will do us no harm, just as we did not harm you, but always treated you well and sent you away peacefully. And now you are blessed by the Lord." Isaac then made a feast for them, and they ate and drank. Early in the morning, the men swore an oath to each other. Then Isaac sent them on their way, and they went away peacefully. That day, Isaac's servants came and told him about the well they had dug. They said, "We have found water," and called it Shiva. And to this day, the name of the town has become Beersheva.
Let's go to Tanya's. Edible. Oh, it's beautiful inside. Yes, I just remembered. Wow. Don't talk about that, Bennett. Wow. Genesis chapter 26. Abraham and Abimelech.
Huwag naman, diriyan.
We are under the tunnel.
Diba naman namin mga lights?
Oh. Wow, I was about to fall. Exit. It's here. Wow, what a beautiful tunnel at Tel Beersheba, the home of Abraham.
Grabe na po, kalutan nila eh. Asan? Saka ka matagalik.
Oh, it feels so cool here, and outside is so hot. It's here, exit.
Agdan again. Agdan again.
How are you, Diana? Wow, what a beautiful place. Wow. Aqueduct. From Wadi Hebron to ancient. Wow. Yes, they got the water from Hebron to this place.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's amazing. The ancient water system.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing. How was your trip?
Pomegranate.
How was your trip? I hope you enjoyed, guys, and of course you like. Follow Ma'am Dura's YouTube channel called Kenyan, and you can follow also our page and Crash Biblical Education.
Yes. Wow, she's Diana. Tel Beersheba. Then he went up from there to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you. I bless you and multiply you, and multiply your descendants for my servant Abraham's sake. So he built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord, and he pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants dug a well. We just visited the place. Bible Life with Pastor Aris.
Hi, shalom.
Thank you so much, Pastor.
Welcome.
Yes. By the way, if you want to visit Israel, you are there in your country and you would like to visit Israel, check Christ. What is
They can check my page, Pastor Aris, traveling preacher in Israel.
Thank you.
Okay, very
But you only bring tourists,
Yeah.
people who come to visit Israel and go back.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, so thank you so much, good people, for watching. I appreciate your time. I don't take your time for granted. I'm honored, humbled. And please, if you would like to follow me on my journeys to the Bible land, subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell for all the videos, so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be notified as soon as I upload it. God bless you so much. It's Veronica. So farewell.
Yes po. Sa ano, Pastor Aris Paduga, traveling preacher in Israel. Paduga. Palawan?
Yes. Please follow the pastor's page on Facebook.